If you want to be successful in a food business, you have to focus on reducing wastage. If you can master the art of controlling the wastage in your business, you can build a profitable food business. Your margins will improve, your return on investment will improve, you can consistently make profits in your business. That's the challenge that a lot of food entrepreneurs face. So today, we're going to talk about the 6 tips to reduce wastage in your food business. My name is Suresh Radhakrishnan. I'm a serial entrepreneur, public speaker, and a digital coach. You might be watching this video from any other forums like Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram. Just go check out the YouTube channel and subscribe for further upcoming videos. And please don't forget to click the notification icon. The first one, efficient menu design. If you can focus on creating an efficient menu, you can avoid wastage in a lot of other factors. Right? I keep telling this. Please don't keep more than 15 SKU. This can be applicable to a lot of small food businesses. You might run a tea outlet, you might run a cloud kitchen, you might run a QSR brand. Any of these small food businesses, it will definitely be applicable. Why less than 15 SKU? If you're not aware of SKU is stock keeping unit. To put it in very simple terms, let's say you want to make 10 kgs of biryani. What are all the list of raw materials that are required? Let's say your basmati rice, spices, chicken or vegetables. So whatever is the list of raw materials that are required, that is called SKU. Okay, so make sure that you control, that you maintain this SKU within 15. Alright, so that's very important. So create an efficient menu design by having very minimal SKU. The next thing is you need to have a very lean menu. You can have combinations of these SKUs. Let's say you're offering a momo. You're offering a plain momo. You mix some chocolate sauce, it becomes chocolate momo. You already use corn for some other items. You use the same corn for this momo, it becomes a corn momo. So likewise, you can have single SKU, but you can multiply menu items. But always make sure that you follow very small, very lean menu item. And of course, you cannot satisfy all the customer who comes into your outlet. Okay, so customers expect a lot of things. You get carried away because you're so passionate about running this business, and you have this thing in mind always that you want to satisfy your customer needs. Right? So you cannot satisfy all the customer needs. You also need to look at it with the business angle. Will my business make profits if I'm going to include this menu item in my food business? So ask all of these questions, create an efficient menu design. The next thing, monitoring purchase. You might have daily purchase items, you might have weekly purchase items, you might have monthly purchase items. So whatever it is, make sure that you monitor these purchases. If it is happening at the store level, at the restaurant level, make sure that these guys note it down and enter this data in a common platform. Let's say you maintain a simple Google Drive, an Excel sheet to update all of these items. And try and avoid giving a lot of petty cash to purchase daily items. Minimalize the dependency on petty cash. Petty cash in simple terms, whatever is the expense, whatever is the amount that you give it to your admin to purchase items on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Right? So make it as a central purchase. Always make sure that you send money from your account, the company, the current account, and do not deal in cash. Try to deal it with an account so that it is always accounted, your credit, debit. Whenever you wanted to take out a statement and check how much you have spent on purchases, it is so easy to do that. Okay, so when you do that, when you focus on monitoring your purchase, you can focus on monitoring the expiry items. You can tell people that, okay, don't purchase these items at this point in time. You can always check against the stock that is available. Alright, so make sure that you monitor purchase. That is a very, very important thing to note it down. The next thing, stock inventory. Whatever is the stock that is available. Let's say your daily consumption, daily usage items like your ginger, lemon, onion or tomato or milk, all of these daily perishable items, it can't be kept it as a stock in a stock room. that has to be consumed at the outlet level. Okay, whether you maintain the stock at your home or at an office, it is completely different. I'm talking about items which has got long shelf life. Let's say with respect to tea outlet, it can be tea powder. With respect to Chinese, it could be noodles. With respect to biryani restaurant, it could be basmati rice or any other siraga samba or any other rice varieties. So all of these products will have a long shelf life. So all of these items will be on a monthly purchase list. So make sure that you enter data on what all the stock that is available at your office or at home, wherever you maintain that. Doesn't matter. But make sure that you maintain a data, what stock is available, what is not available. So that people unknowingly need not purchase additional items. So maintaining stock inventory is another important step. So now that we saw about how to efficiently design the menu and control wastage at the inventory level and at the purchase level. Now, based on the sales data, how can you effectively control the wastage? The next step, monitor volume of sales. Whenever you open a new outlet, a new business, be it a cloud kitchen or a retail outlet, you may not assess the volumes because a new business might take 3 to 6 months for it to reach those volumes. It is going to be tough in the initial few months, but after at least 3 months, you should be able to get the daily sales volume. It again depends from location to location. Let's say you're inside a tech park, you will not have weekend sales at all. It is going to be just 5 days. Let's say you are in a public place where it is surrounded by schools and colleges. Weekend sales will not be there. Let's say you are in a location where a lot of youngsters crowd, bachelors crowd, definitely there will be more weekend sales. So once after crossing 3 months, you can look at the sale and then calculate, okay, Friday is going to be my peak day. Let's say you're selling biryanis. For selling biryanis, Thursday would be a peak day, Sunday would be a peak day. Yes, so assess the sales volume and then prepare items accordingly. It is always good to say, no, we are done for today, but not getting into a wastage mode. Right? So whatever the items that cannot be consumed the very next day, let's say a biryani prepared is prepared. If you prepare 100 kgs of biryani, it has to be consumed on the same day. But when it comes to Chinese, you could keep the noodle and prepare it for the next day. Because all of these items can be put it in a deep freezer and then it could be consumed the next day. So those items can be instantly prepared. Right? So whatever the product that has to be consumed on the same day, make sure that you calculate the volumes and then prepare. The next very, very important thing, calculate food cost every week. I call it as unit economics. Food cost calculation is one part of unit economics. And I covered it in a detailed manner in a lot of my modules. So one such module that I do is the Teapreneur Game Plan Workshop. I'm sharing the link in the description. Just go check out. If you're interested, you can enroll for the workshop. Right? So calculate food cost on a regular basis, at least weekly. How do we do that? Get the sales data. Get it on a daily basis. Get the expense data. You can get it on a daily basis. Create a simple daily report note, because you cannot expect people to do a data entry, to work on a POS software or some restaurant software, because into small business it is going to be hard. If you're a chain of outlets, if you're running it like a corporate, then you'll have people. But if you're into a small business, then it is going to be hard. So what do? Maintain a simple note at the outlet, ask them to fill the data and ask them to send it across every single day. So calculate sales, expense, and calculate the stock that is available. So sales versus expense versus stock. So sales minus expense, you will get a gross margin. I mean, I'm just randomly telling you. It will give you a margin. It will give you a number. And you can calculate the stock that is already available, because you would have purchased these stock using those expenses. You would have mentioned those things in the expenses as well. Hope you understood what I'm trying to mention. Yes, so sales versus expense versus stock. It might look complicated, but you can put on very simple systems so that you calculate it on a weekly basis. Okay, so prepare a simple Excel sheet should do. So create that, put it in a Google Drive, ask your people to fill it up, calculate food cost, understand what percentage of the total sale goes into food cost. If it is going beyond a limit, then you are making losses. The next thing that you need to do is focus on this, understand where exactly the problem, and then come up with a solution. Okay, so now that I've calculated the food cost, I have assessed sales data, everything is fine. But there is a problem with unit economics. I'm not making money at the end of each month. How do I overcome this? So understand exactly where the problem is. Is your menu designed wrong? Are you facing any difficulties in the menu items? Then rework on the menu. Change certain menu items. It might look 1 or 2 items, but you might be holding the inventory for those 1 or 2 items. That might cause wastage. That might end up making loss for your business. So rework on the menu item. Right? So that's one. And rework on the food cost. Let's say if you're not getting enough profits, at least decent profits, then there is a problem with food cost. Increase the menu price if required. Of course, you might get a drop in sale, but do not worry about it. You will randomly start asking customers, so what if I increase the noodle price to another 20 rupees? You cannot decide based on customer decisions. Customer always needs a product at a better price. So don't ever ask the customer, you know that, right? You are into business, you offer this quality product, and that means that you should earn profits. So make sure that you fix the right menu price and work on the food cost. So these are the 6 tips to control wastage in a food business. This can be applied to any small food business model, and you can overcome those challenges that you're facing with respect to wastages. I hope you have learned a lot in this video. Please share your learnings in the comment section. If at all, if you require any other topic to be covered, just mention that in the comments as well. Please do like, share, and subscribe with your friends and family. Meet you in another video. Thank you.